Welcome back. So today we are going to work on Ruckard FilledValueGap strategy part 3. Okay, so today I'm going to try to fix this problem that gaps are being detected as being filled even if they are too old, and this means that there is some problems here with this. So let me show you the problem here. Where the hell is this? FairValueGap. Here you are. So the problem is with this long entry. So there was a gap here on the left. So let me show you here on the left. There was this unfilled gap. Okay, here you have this unfilled gap, as you can see here. This is the unfilled gap. So if you go to the which is this line here, if you go to the present, you can see how this green line is filled here. So that means that we increase by 1 the number of filled gaps that are bullish gaps. So our default way of doing stuff is just long here, because we have filled a bullish gap. However, what we are going to do right now is to ignore this, because what we want to do is something like this. So if we have this bearish gap, we want, when this is filled, then we want to go down, but not so many candles later. Otherwise this does not make sense. As you can see, we have gone downwards because there was already a bearish gap. So this is something that we need to fix, and that's what we are going to do today. So the way I see it, we need two settings, one for long, one for short, in order to define when a gap is old or not. So we need something like this, an integer. So you want to have, these are the colors, and fill gaps. So this is fill gaps, look back. So this is, I want to check for fill back, for fill gaps. Number of candles, number of bars to look back for fill gaps. This is going to be 5. This is going to be long filled. Okay, and we are going to have also the short version. I don't think this is going to be needed, different setting for each one of them, but we just do it and that's it. Okay. Oh, first of all, I had to check if there was any change, and there was not any change. The only change that we see here is the ones that we have already done right now. Okay, so let me see. So so now what we are going to do is to take a look at the functions that say how many field gaps are there or not. Okay, and so because right now we are checking if we are checking this, so this field number is going on depending on this. So I'm not sure how to do this because we have the discarded FVG lines too, and this for condition. If FVG, this is means unfilled. Wait a minute. What the hell is this piece of shit? FVG maximum equals FVG maximum? Why? Wait a moment. This should not be right. Let's take a look at the original code, which I mean this original code. Yeah, this is already here. Okay, let's take a look at one much older code. Let's see if we can find anything interesting. So this is a function that that you can use for both of them, and then minimum max. Okay, I see. So if you are bullish, it's the expression, otherwise you don't modify the value. Oh. And this is the same thing. If you are bearish, you don't modify this value. Yeah. Maybe it's a bit. We need to fix this, I think. Okay. But so far we have these inputs. Okay, let's fix this 1 second. So what you want to do is you want to just say that you don't modify it. That's it. So now we can add this and say I don't want these settings, but I want this one and this one, and I can say something like commented. Okay, so yeah. So right now you only have one difference to save, which is this new settings. Okay, so let me take a look once again to this function, maybe the detectable function. So this is saving in the lines, saving some settings here. Then you've got this discarded line that saves some settings here. Okay. So discarded FVG lines, I guess it's the ones that are not filled. Yeah, that are already filled. Check if historical FVGs are filled. Okay. Okay, let me understand what the hell does this function, and then we will try to understand what we want to do, because right now what we are doing down here is, okay, let me add a bookmark around here. And not sure if there is more. So down here, what we are doing is checking if this is filled. And the way of checking if this is filled is with this number, which it's output. Okay, it's output from this function, and this is the third variable that it's returned, which is this one. So the problem is that this number is being modified in 3 places, which I do not understand too well. So this is what we want to understand first, and then we will figure out how to understand if what's the name, if a gap is too old or not. So apparently you first check if the historical FVGs are filled. So apparently if a gap is found, you add it to the to this what's the name, you add it to the FVG lines. However, if you say that okay, if you have more than X gaps, then you remove it from FVG lines and you push it to discarded FVG lines. So this is interesting. In any way, let's take a look at this. So we have the FVG lines, which are the historical lines, the recent historical lines. So if they are filled right now, then this they are removed from the recent gaps and VG number is increased. Then later on, if the same thing happens but with the discarded FVG lines, which are even older gaps, then you remove them from the discarded lines, apparently, not sure why, and once again the fill number increases. Okay, and if the gap is found, you can check if it's unfilled or not, and once again the gap fill number is increased. Okay, so I understand what I want to do, but I'm not sure it's the right way, because I want to check here. I want to add condition here in order to add the recent field number depending on the setting above that we have created before. But I'm not sure this is a good idea in order to count these gaps. So what we have up here, which are long field gaps look back and short field backs look back. So this is what you want to do here. You only want to increase this number if the field condition is true, and if the lines, what's the name? The lines look back is less than this 5 here. So you want to compare the var index that was saved into the FVG lines. You know what I mean? So I wonder if there is a better way of counting field gaps which are not recent, because once you go from you are outside this function, you don't know anything about the gap. So that's about the gap that has been just filled. And actually you can fill several gaps with one trade. Now that I think about this, that's why you have this thing about comparing the number, so that it's exactly 1 instead of 2, so that you are not confused. Okay, let me see. If the historical gaps are filled, you push them into, wait a minute, you remove them from the FVG lines. Wait a minute. Yeah, because they are no longer gaps. So when you remove a gap, it means that it has been filled. Yeah, maybe we can add a number which will be modified from here, and that way it's better for us rather than trying to do this with inside here. I think it's the best idea. You want a number that gets increased, and that's it. So let me see how the hell we can do this. Okay, so let me so I want to save his value each time. So I think I want to go down here, and I want, okay, so this field number, okay, this is what we want to have here, but this is going to be something special. So you've got this recently filled number for bull and another one for bears. Okay, so by default this is an integer, and this should be 0. Okay, so what you need to have here is 2 additional inputs. So the first input is so this is bool, so the first input is whatever. Wait a minute. Yeah, I do not need this because I can. I do not need this because I can do this. I do not need to enter this value in the function because I can make the calculation later. So basically, what we do here is just something like so this is total, field total, and this is total. Okay. So what you do here is that the bool one, it's the total plus whatever they return. So we can say that this is field number for the specific for the current trade. So this is bear, and bear. Bear with me, please, with all of these explanations. So now I can do stuff related to this. So I can say, hey, do not look at the recently the field number. We don't care about that. We care about the total that was on the recent candle and the total that it's right now. So if there is a difference, it means that something has been filled recently. That's what we want to fix. Okay. So what you want to do is to return this value here. So this needs to be on the output. So this should be an output, and this also should be an output from the function. So this is, here it is. This is the output from the function. Okay. So now if we go up and we find this, please. Okay, so I was saying we want the function to return a new variable. So the new variable is going to be this one here, which this is going to be without the bool because whatever. And the same thing happens with the bear function. So it needs to have this as a what's the number? What's the name as a return variable? Okay. So now we need to make sure to count this number properly. Okay. So what we have here is this variable, which we are going to define here. So this is an integer, and by default it's going to be 0. Okay, so now let's see where the hell stuff is being filled. Okay, that's something that I do not understand too much, but let's see if we can manage this. So this number should only increase if this happens and at the same time you've got the what's the name, and at the same time you've got the at the same time this is recent enough. So okay, so before doing this we need another input, which is how many of this how many candles you need to look back in order to know if this is recent or not. So first of all, we want this new setting, which is here. We need this to be an input of the function when you call it, and you also want to be an input when you call it here, okay, down here. And so now if you go to the function, you need to make sure that this is used as a parameter. So what we are going to do here is we're going to use this as a parameter so that we don't mess it up. So this is going to be like this, and then we are going to have this other one, which is the short one, and we're going to use it with a p so that we know that it's a parameter. Okay, so now we are ready for calculating stuff, but I mean, this is too much changes in one go. So let's save this for the moment, and then we will see what happens. So let's save this. Let's say something like use only recently filled gaps. Not sure if we want to put one here. Okay, if we later on have more, we might put this into a single commit later on. Otherwise we will say that this is true, and that's it. Okay, so now we are going to try to implement what we want to implement. So you have as an input the long field gaps look back. We have this new variable which we are going to output down here. I mean down here. Okay, this needs to be done the same thing in both bear and both bull and bear functions. As I said, I prefer to have two different functions rather than one big function with same thing. So the question is, how do I know when the gap, what's the bar index of the gap? That's the question, because I am not sure that this is being saved. So let me see. So these are historical FVGs. So take a look at this. You modify the line so that the L modify FVG lines so that the bar index of this line is the current bar index. Okay, so this means to me that we should have a set x1, which is set the first time that the gap is found. Okay, and we should also have okay, so this line is not used. So down here we have the same thing with bear. So probably, yeah, these are historical lines, and then this is the line that has the cropped dots. I do not remember the hyphens. Okay, there should be a set x1 or something somewhere. Maybe FVG lines are not set here. Set x1. Wait a minute. Yeah, I mean FVG lines is not used. Let me see down here. So when you call these FVG lines, which are bool FVG lines, these are not modified here. Yeah, this makes sense. So as this is not modified, the only place where this is saved is when you do line.new or something else, because there was this shift stuff that I saw somewhere. Wait a minute, let's go to bool function. So there are two places where this is saved. So the first one is line new, which is saving bar index -1, which I guess it's where the line starts. Not sure if this is what I want to check or if I want to check one bar less. Bar index -1, bar index. Okay, so this is x1, this is y1, x2 and y2. Okay, so thanks to unshift you add this value, and thanks to line new you make sure that you are creating a new line. So what I'm getting from here is that this line, which is to be found in FVG lines, okay, its value about being filled or not is on x1. That's what we want to check, x1. So the question is, what about this variable? So this one checks this field condition turn, which is based on this. Okay, then later on apparently it's once again checking discounted FVG lines, which I don't think this is a good thing to do. I mean, I think that I don't want to count the the ones from that are inside discarded values, and if you have the condition and at the same time this is filled, you want to wait a minute. If you have the condition, apparently you increase this, but you don't know which line you are talking about, so you cannot check. I mean, yes, you are working with you are working with the current candle, isn't it? So that means that this is true and we want to count it. So we want to count this because this is true, this is recent. But then if this is true, then it's going to be counted in the historical FVGs later on, isn't it? Yeah, so first of all, if the gap is unfilled, you move it to these lines so that later you can check if it's filled or not. Here I want to count this. I don't think I want to count discarded FVG lines. The question is, what the hell do I do with so otherwise I'm going to count same stuff again and again. So I don't want to count stuff again and again. I only want to count this only once. So maybe I want to save this into an array and just wait a minute. This is not going to be easy, isn't it? Okay, the problem is that if you say 5, yeah, the filled one, it's going to be no, because when this is filled, this is removed from here, so this is only counted once. But then check if historical ones are filled. Okay, I see. If a gap isn't filled, you push it to FVG lines. Later on, you check if it's filled or not. Otherwise, if it's directly filled, this is used here. Okay, and that's it. So now we should be able to, what's the name? We should be able to just count this one and this one, and we don't care about discarded ones because discarded ones are only used if this thing I mean, the discarded ones are the oldest one that are pushed here if the array size is higher than the maximum fill gaps, and we don't care about that. So we only care about these historical FVGs that are filled, that do not need to be more than 5, and we care about the latest one, which is this one here. if it's filled. So this is what we are going to do. So this one is something that is obvious. So recently filled number, this needs to be increased. So where was it? So this one needs to be increased without any doubt. This needs to be increased here. Okay, so I'm going to use the same syntax. And down here, wait a minute, down here this needs to be filled too. So let's do like this. So this is one step for having the stuff properly here. The other thing that you want to do is to add this same function here. However, this needs to be inside an if, and that's the question: what condition do we use? So first of all, we want to get the current what's the name? We want to get the current number. Okay. So this is array get x1. I mean, I think line get, yeah, this thing here. So you want line get x1. So what you want to do is, if this is bigger than this needs to be smaller than the current bar index plus, no, this is not right. Yeah, this number plus the current, wait a minute, this number plus our look back, okay, needs to be less or equal than 4 bar index, the current bar index. So if this number plus the look back is less than the bar index, is this right or not? Wait a minute, I don't think this is right. No, this is not right. Okay, it seems that some movement has happened in Bitcoin while I was doing this. While I was doing this. How much is this? Ethereum is 6%. Oh my god. This is quite nice. I mean, quite big. Okay, anyway, we don't care about the current price. So, I wanted to draw something so that I understand better what I'm doing here. So we should have some gaps somewhere. To the error, calculation timeout. Well, Maybe because there is too much movement here. Yeah, let me see if we can check the gaps here. Okay. So I have this gap here. So this is the bar index where it starts. So I want to say something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if this number plus 5 is less, now it's the other way around. If the bar index is less than the number plus 5, then we are okay. But if it's so the bar index needs to be less than this one, which is the line plus. Yeah, that's what I was doing. But the bar index needs to be greater. I think it's better. I think you understand better if you do the other way around. So that means if the bar index is less or equal than the maximum place where you want to be, which is this thing, then if the bar index, yeah, you always this is going to be always higher than x1 because this is an old value, so we don't care about being higher than x1. Okay, so if this bar index is less than this future value, hypothetical future value, then you are good and you add this. Okay, so I think this is what you want to use. So you want to use this here just before having this. I'm not sure. Yeah, because this is not. So now if you go up here, so where the hell are the remove lines here? Yeah, wait a moment. Here's field condition turn. Okay, so here we copy and paste, and we make sure that we are using the long setting, otherwise this is not going to work. So this is what you want to add here. Okay, so right now we should copy this and look at these movements. This is nice. You can trade without any problem here if you want to. Hey, let me see. Okay. Cannot deduce a raise type inspection. Okay, so this is 620. 620. Is this an array? Yeah. So apparently I have missed to define this down here. Okay. Let's copy and paste again, see what happens. mean, now, okay, we have managed this not to work properly because we are not good doing this. Yes, let me see. Let me see if we can check if there's something wrong around here. I don't think so. This is line get x1 and our index is less than equal than. Okay, so now we're going to add this and we are going to amend this so that everything is the same commit. So now I need to debug or to take a look, a deeper look, to understand why this is not working as expected, because we should be seeing something here and we are not seeing anything. Is it because it takes too much to compute? No, it is not. Is it because we need to reset settings here? I don't think so. This is the number of bars to look back, 5 and 5. Let's see if we have different result in 4 hours. I am curious. We have the same result. Well, at least the gaps are being shown here. Okay, so now they should be painted. Yeah, too long to do stuff. Let's go back to 4 hours and then to 1 hour. Let's see if it manages to fix this. Okay, so now I guess that this is going to work well. This is not going to work well, isn't it? Let's change to 30 minutes. Okay, take a look at this. 23 minutes ago, someone says that Bitcoin may hit 15,000 and then the price goes down. That's interesting, to say the least. I wonder if this is taking too much because something. Or maybe we have managed to do something wrong. Okay, anyway, maybe it's TradingView that has too much work here. Let's take a look at what we have done, then later on we will see. So we have added these 2 lines here, which so basically what we do here is we call detectable and we call detectable and detect pair. So now we have in detectable we have this new parameter, and here we have this new parameter, and at the same time recently filled number is being output. So in this exact candle, which is the number of filled gaps for this candle, is it 1, is it 2, whatever, and so this value is used here to understand how many of these field total are used. So this is 0 and it keeps increasing on each one of the trades and in each one of the candles. Then if this field total is increased by 1, okay, it means that a bull gap has been filled or a bear gap has been filled recently, because we are returning the recently filled number. So back to the functions. So we return this recently filled number, which is only increased when the gap is filled on the same candle, or if the gap is filled later. However, the current bar index needs to be smaller than what you had saved on this line as the current bar index, and these 5 numbers, it needs to be smaller than that, and that way you increase this, then you just return it. So the bullish function should be the same thing. You have this additional return variable here, which you increase when the gap happens, the filling of the gap happens the same time you find it. And if it's not the case, if it's an historical FVG, then what you do is to get this value and you what's the name, wait a minute, line get x1 L, so this is used twice here. So the duration is bar index, current bar index, minus the value that you have here on x1 in the day. Yeah, so this should be working, but I'm not sure why this is not working. So let me see here. Let me change to 1 day, and we will go back to 1 hour and see if we can manage. Okay, now we have everything. We have these caps here. Oh my god, take a look at this. So we had these gaps, we had this big gap here daily. Now some people have been caught as a surprise, because the price has been raised from, what the hell is this, from 1700 till 21,400, but this is just filling the gap that needed to be filled here in the daily time frame. Then you go down because the price says that we go down. Look at that. I mean, it seems that in daily this is working as expected. Study error, calculation timeout. Okay, maybe we are going to add the indicator once again, so otherwise this is taking too much to debug, because I want to debug this so that I can I do not believe that this takes more time. It's exactly the same code as yesterday. Okay, so I'm not sure what they're going to do here because this keeps on timing out. Okay, now we don't have a timeout. Nice. So what I want to do here is just the back stuff. See why the hell it doesn't count anything. This I don't like this. Less the problem is this. I mean, is it the problem with this variable here? No, this should be. This should be this one, and that's it. You return this, and you use it later on. So down here you use this new value here, either bull or bear. This number from the current candle. This is increased each time, so shouldn't be. Wait a moment. This is not right. Yeah, this is right. So you have this number, and then you have one additional. Then this is filled here. Well, let me check if we have something else to be saved here. We don't have anything to be saved here. So now I'm going to debug. I'm going to debug this exact total number to see what happened in each one of the candles, because I think this is what you want to check here. Okay, so let me check 1 second here. So what you want to check is these two values here. Let's see what the hell happens with them. So we have a bull value and a bear value. Okay, so let me see. That's it. So let's take a look at this, then later on we can work, we can understand if there's something wrong in the calculus. Maybe we want only to have one gap. I mean, we want to, not sure how to explain it. We want only to count the fields that are derived from okay, you see. Nice. Yes. So now I should be able to go here, and here you have these numbers here. So apparently what the hell? So apparently each one of the candles, this moves a lot. Both bull and bears. And the reason is, I'm not sure what the hell is the reason. Wait a minute, this is not what I was looking at. Okay. Why the hell? I think the problem relies on this function. So if this is found, we add it here, FVG condition. So the FVG condition, let's see what the hell it is. FVG condition is that something happens. Okay. And then if the FVG condition, it means that we detect a gap. Wait a minute. Why is this here without any conditional number? This is not right. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's here because we know that this is okay. You don't need any conditional. However, apparently this is run on each one of the candles. Okay, let me see. So if an FVG is filled, it's removed from here. So I should not see it again. That's what I do not understand here. It's like this is not working properly, and this is not being removed from here. Somehow variables that are passed here are not being modified in the outside. You know what I mean? So that way this variable is again and again the same thing, and it should not be like that. So the way of doing this is just yeah, so do you pass arrays into function as a reference or as a copy? That's the question. Because these lines are... Okay, let me check if there's something about the arrays and functions. Array something, array new, array mode. Okay, so this is array. Okay, array. Keyboard to use specifically the right type of variable parameter. Okay, they have finally make something that makes more sense other than something else, but this is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something like tradingview arrays, functions. Okay, arrays. So let me check for function here. Yeah. I get the scope. Okay, let me see. Arrays can be declared in script's global scope as well as in the local scope of a function or an if branch. One major distinction between parent script arrays and variables declared in the global scope is that global arrays, okay, look at that. Global arrays can be modified from within the local scope of a function. This new capability can be used to implement global variables that can be both read and set from within any function in the script. Global arrays can be modified from within the local scope of a function. This is not right. History references. Okay. One cannot write this. Yeah, it's called. You can have, yeah. Okay. So what you want to do is to have two variables and modify them on the array so that this works properly. Otherwise, once you use this as an input, this is not going to work properly. The question is, how the hell do you work with arrays in libraries? Okay, let me ask on the chat script. Is there a way of passing an array to a function as a reference as you would do in C? Thank you. Okay, so right now what we can do is to we can restore this, and we can work with whatever the so this means that I cannot move these functions into a library, because when you are in a library, all the parameters needs to be put as parameters, you know what I mean? So this is quite interesting here. I do not want to use the same name as the global array name, but custom one inside of the function. I wonder if that it's possible. I am currently experiencing the variable as if it was copy parameter 1. Okay, anyway, so the easiest way of doing this is just using global variables. Okay, so that means the variables needs to be defined before the functions. That's why they were defined before That's why they were defined before the functions here, I guess. Look at this. These variables were defined before the functions, because down here, wait a minute. Well, I don't know. I am not sure about this. So let me see. So what I want to do, so that this works without too much of a hassle, is you want to have these variables outside, which we already had somewhere. Here this will line something. You want to have this outside, okay, and this needs to be before the functions. I mean, maybe, yeah, this is not nice. Maybe around here. They need to be around here, maybe. I mean, I don't like this. Then you avoid using this as inputs, okay. This is the nice way of doing this. So you can pass arrays as an argument, or you can declare an array locally to your function. I want to modify global arrays from within my function, but without, I want to modify global arrays, and at the same time the array being an argument, because you cannot do that. So that global variable name is different than the function variable name. You can pass arrays as an argument, or you can declare an array locally to your function, yes. You can also create a copy of an array passed as an argument within the function. Okay, so now so here, okay, so up here we have these new variables, and now instead of adding those as inputs, which we're going to take a look somewhere, I guess. Wait a minute. If the function did not work, we wouldn't have anything. Wait a minute, that's true. So if the function did not work saving a staff somewhere, then this wouldn't work properly. You wouldn't have any one of the you wouldn't be able to. I mean, once you save this here, you let me see. there's something wrong somewhere here, I guess, in the function, because I think it's going to happen the same thing with if I do this. So what you want to do is oh my god, this is not going to be easy to implement here. So what you want to do here is to replace FVG lines, and you want to use bare FVG lines, which are from the, so you want to replace all of this here. Okay, and now you want to replace this with bool. Let me see. So I replace this, 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 and this. Okay, so now I also want to replace this. So this scattered bool FVG lines. Okay. Guess you cannot do that. Yeah, I think that there's something wrong here. So discarded bool lines. So let's replace this here. Okay, replace, and replace here. So down here this should be bare. So we replace this here. Okay, okay, okay. We are done. So we want to fix these new variables which we no longer use. We want to remove them. So you want to remove this, and you want to remove these variables here, so that if they are not used, and then down there you need to, what's the name, down here you need to remove these lines from here because you are not longer using them. So bare and this. So now this should be working, although I prefer the other way of doing stuff. So let me see if this works more or less. You can pass array as an argument. Create a please. When you pass a global array into a function as an argument, and you modify that argument variable, adding and removing array items, does it affect the global array? Does it affect the initial global array? Maybe I should ask a question the way. Okay, so now I have written the function in such a way that it's the same thing as before, and so according to the documentation this should be modified, but it's not. So now I have all of these changes, with all of this stuff which is being ignored. So I think that the code is not right, because you know what I mean. This is not working as expected. So I think I'm going to copy this just in case we want to use it. So FilledValueGap, script FilledValueGap, script FilledValueGap A classic. This is non-argument array. Okay. I do not want to use this, so I'm going to restore this, and I'm going to assume that this works as I expect. Maybe the problem is with the number of lines. Yeah, I don't know. Doge, literary, died, something, something. Okay, let me see. I mean, let me restore this, because we don't want this. Okay, we don't want this change. Now let's debug what the hell happens with this array. So we need a way of looping through the array and count how many stuff is inside of the array, because I am not sure that this is working as we expect to. You know what I mean? So now so let's assume that this works as expected, but now we are going to debug if there's something wrong with it. So first of all, we need to count somewhere. Well, damn it. We need to count somewhere okay, let me see. Yeah, and the other one that we want to bookmark should be the one about the functions. Okay, so let me check down here. So we want to loop over the arrays, which I think we have an example here on the functions. So it's just like this, bar index. So yeah, okay, so now I want to use this down here before using and after using these functions. So you've got this here. So this is count. This needs to have some line or something. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. Pull FVG lines count. Okay. And also we want to have pre, and we also want to have the post and the bear ones. Okay, this is something that we want to have around here. Bear. I mean, we don't want this. We already have an array function for counting how many elements there are in an array, if I'm not mistaken. So array count, there should be something like that. Max, minimum, greatest value. There should be something like number of elements. Range. No. Sum. I mean, this should be. There's something what we are missing, but there should be. So average, binary search, clear. No. Concat. Merge to array, copy, an array, covariance, fill. Okay, if no index, all elements are set. Array from. Okay. Let's see, this is a way of saving into array some stuff. Get values includes. Okay, index of. Okay, this is for finding stuff. Insert, join, last index of. No. Okay, so index of is the first occurrence and this is the last occurrence. Greatest value, array mode. Yeah. I can see array new type. Okay, let's ignore all the new functions. Pop. Do I have an answer? Yes, it does. If you do not want. Okay. Let me see if I can replay here. Okay. In that case, it means that my code is faulty and I need to debug it. Thank you. So, we should find, okay, array size. Yeah, number of elements in array size. This is what we want to prompt. We don't need any variable here. Yeah, that's it. So we want to plot array size, and that's it. So array size of this and the other one, which is the var one. So let me search for the last nice line, which, okay, here it is. So this should be here. So what you want to put here is size. So this is pre, and we also have the post too. Okay, so this is pre with bool, which we're going to have bear, and so this should be something like this. And now we have the post. So the post is here. So I want to remove this two ones here, and so this is before. Then after using the function, which is here, I want to see what the hell happens with the array size so that I can compare step by step. Then there are more arrays around here that we were using, like discarded lines, but I don't think I care too much about the discarded lines. So let's close this. Let's use this instead. Take a look at this, how Bitcoin goes down. This is going to go down and down quite a lot, apparently. Yeah, I mean quite a lot, maybe. Okay, so let's debug this because this is too much time. So now if you take a look here, you can see what I have done. So I plot the array size of the bull lines and of the bear lines before and after calling the functions. That way it might help us to find out what the hell is happening with all of these gaps, because I do not understand why there is so much of problem with all of this. Are we going to reach 15,000 or something in Bitcoin? Okay, so now I should be able to check this thing before and after and see. So let's see what happens in each one. I mean, not these ones, but these ones up here. Okay. Pre 2, after 2. No. This is pre 2, post 1. Pre 2, post 1. What the hell? Pre 2, post 3. So here we have a new bear. But apparently so from the previous candle to this one we have a new bear, because the pre-bear is 2 and the post-bear is 3. However, if you take a look at the bullish FVG maximum, bullish FVG minimum, so the bearish, wait a minute, maximum minimum, this is not what I want to look at. Wait a minute. So I also want to take a look at this value here, which is this total here, or maybe this recently filled number. Yeah, maybe Yeah, I want to plot these two values too. Let me see. Let me see. One second. So you want to take a look at these two values just after you have modified this. So you want to take a look at the bull number here and the bear number too. Okay, let me see. Bear number, and then you want to check the total. So the total is this one, and the total is this one. Okay, so let's take a look here. Oh, take a look. The price is going up, probably a bit. It seems like there is a spring here in 17,600. Okay. Okay, so now we can understand what the hell happens here. Let me see. Maybe we can understand it. So you want to check this field number, not this one's up down here. Not sure if I was. Yeah, this total makes no sense. Oh, wait a minute. Why this number is kept between why this number is kept between candles? That's a good question, and the answer is because we use the bar variable, because bullshit of Pioneer script language. Okay, so the way of fixing this is just, it's very easy. This field number, that's why this field number was used originally, because this is not reset in each one of the trades. So I can do everything here if I want to. But I mean, why would I like to have this here? I mean, so this is what I want to do. I want the look at that, 17,200. This is going down quite fast. So let's copy this here. So now it should work as expected, because I am not using the bar to increase stuff in such So I'm not sure if I want to keep oh my god, this is going down so fast. What are we going to do? Are we going to see 15,000 as someone predicted later on? I mean before this afternoon. Okay, and we have some what's the name? We have some trades. This is not working as expected. I mean, this is not profitable, but at least we are not dealing with these gaps that were around there, around the place. So here we had long, somewhere around here we have the long, because there was a green, what's the name? Because there was a bullish. So if you take a look here and you say that you want to show the lines, you will see how here there was a green one that it's closed here, that it's filled here, sorry, but we don't care about it. Let me see if I can show you this to you. This takes too long to print the lines, but anyway. Okay, so now you should see this is doing stuff, isn't it? It's calculating stuff. No, it's not. Why the hell I don't see any of the... Oh, wait, no data? Why no data? Ah, okay. Too long to execute. Anyway, this is working as I expected to. So the last thing that you use only recently gaps. Okay, so what you want to do here is to use int instead of this. So the question is, do we use recently filled number stuff that it's... No, we don't want this. This is like having two different variables that are kept once at once. So what you want to do here is you want to add the file -I, and you want to say that I want this and I don't want anything else. So now you want to say hit commit amend, and that's it. So now the only changes that we have is this debug that we can keep on having in order to check whatever is happening here. Okay, oh, look at that spring 600 something. So let's change of time frame just in case it helps. Okay, so nice. So now, okay, now I can take a look at these values, and we should have the lines that we didn't have before, so that I can I can show you what it meant before. Well, I want this in 1 hour, please. Okay, so now that we can see the lines, let me show you what happens here. So in the old way of doing stuff here, this is green, it was detected bullish candle, so you went up here. Okay, so you went up because the bullish candle had been filled here. But now we don't care about this. We only care when there are 5 or less than 5 candles from the latest what's the name from the latest gap. So as you can see here, we have a gap, and in less than 5 candles the gaps it's filled. Wait, yeah, no, wait a moment. Is this right or not? The same. Okay, this in the same candle that I find the gap, it's filled, so I short, and the same thing happens here. Well, no, it does not happen here. This is not completely filled. So I think there's something wrong. It's like this. So here this is not filled. I mean, yes, this is filled here because no, it's not filled till here. Wait a moment. We are detecting, we are entering in a trade even if the gap is not filled, and it should not be like that. So So I am back. So we are entering a trade even if the gap is not filled. We need to fix this. But before doing that, I think that we can add a tag or something here, because otherwise yeah, let's bump the version and then we will fix this, because otherwise this is not going to be released in some time. And I think this needs to be released. Okay, so now we can add this with I. Say I want this and I want this. I don't want anything else. And we can say something like so bump. Okay, bump version to A3 and then jig tag. So this should be 3. And we still have this. So now we can push this. So now let me see. Now you should be able to something. Now you should be able to publish this. That's what I was looking for. Maybe this one. So I think that this is 3. Am I right? Yes, I am right. Okay, so the video description should have this strategy here. Okay. Nice. So let's continue. By the way, thank you for the like. Someone give me a like. Please comment. If you give me likes, please comment so that I know who you are and I can thank you. Okay, so as I was saying, now we have all of these the VAX, so that I can understand what the hell is happening here. So the total is so this is bear. So it's bear is 571. And then it's 572. This is not right. This is not right. This is not filled. This is not filled till we are here, not later. So this needs to be fixed. So Let's take a look somewhere. Not sure where, but let's take a look somewhere. Maybe here. So this is the bear condition. So this number by default is 0. And then if something happens, then it is increased. So I'm not sure which one of this is being used, but let's take a look. So FVG condition means that FVG maximum is different than the FVG minimum, level maximum, range shift, FVG lines. Yeah, this does not make sense. I mean, I do not understand why. Okay, let me see once again. So, till you are not in this candle, you cannot check that what's the name? What the gap exists. Okay. So if the condition is met, this is add as an array. Then, so this is added here. No, this is not added here. It's added here, and wait a moment. Is this something about the bullish and bear arrays being mixed or something? I mean, it doesn't make sense at all, but FVG lines. So down here we are calling these two functions with different variables. So this should be fine. So let me check this. So what happens when a gap is found? So when a gap is found, when a bear gap is found, this bearish FVG condition is true. Okay. So we take a look here. Okay, let me see if I can show this. Damn it. No, I cannot, because this is well, maybe now. Damn it, how the hell do you move windows with new stuff? Oh my god. Okay, so you've got this bear condition here, which I'm going to highlight, and now we're going to check. Yeah, it's the other way around. Now I'm going to check this thing here. which I want to show over the other ones. So we have this line here. Okay, so this bearish condition says that the bearish condition is true in this exact candle if something happens. If the current high, which is this here, is smaller than low from 2 candles ago, which is this one. That's not true. Wait a minute. Is this something that you do here? When is this increased? Recently filled number. Okay, so apparently it's in this what's the name? This candle where you find out that the price has not been, that there is a gap. Okay, so if you find out that there is a gap, it makes sense. So what we are doing here in this candle is high is smaller than low than 2 candles ago. That's okay. And then close from 1 candle ago, which is this here, is smaller than lower than 2 candles ago. And then there's some difference here, and the time frame changes. So that means that we have found a gap. However, the gap is not filled till here. So let me go back to the code so that I understand. So here, when you are on detect per FVG, so this condition is true. Okay, so as this condition is true, this is the FVG condition. Okay, so as this condition is true, as you can see, the FVG recently number is increased, so that means that it goes here. So this is what it's not right. Wait a minute, FVG maximum and FVG minimum? I'll take a look at that. So these are variables here. So if the maximum from the latest candle is different than the minimum of the latest candle, oh my god, this is going to be difficult, but yes, and filled. Store the line in array. Maximum, minimum. Yeah, okay. This is getting more and more difficult to understand, but it makes more sense. Okay, so let me understand all of this, because the problem is here, okay? Because it goes down here and we don't want to go down here. Let's take a look at the original script. I guess I have it. Damn it, this is too much movement here. Okay, so let's take a look at the original script which I have around here. I mean, quite similar to the original one, I mean. Is there anything that we mess up here? So FVG max and FVG minimum. This is saved. If it's bullish, yeah, take a look at this. This is going to be interesting. So when he uses only one function, it means that you are saving these variables once. So when he calls this function twice, he is keeping the values from the other. He's keeping the values from the other. What's the name? From the other gap. So FVG max has the old value that had before. Field has the old value that had before. So that's what field is, means both bearish and both bullish gaps are filled. That's what filled means in this original script. Once I have different functions with different variables, these variables have different meanings because they are related to different to different gaps. So here you have this FVG minimum and FVG maximum, which are shared by some gaps and some other gaps. I think my implementation is better because you save the bullish gaps one place and the bearish gaps in another place, so that they do not collide. But I need to understand this maximum minimum and why the hell what the hell are these values used from, and so on. So the problem of using these values from here is that you it's not easy to plot them in the function, because you want to plot them inside the function, different lines. So this is annoying. This is annoying. Let me see, 1 second, what's happening with the price. Okay, 16,800, and then it goes up. Okay, maybe we can have an, what's the name, divergence. Okay, so let me check. Okay. So let's try this again. Let's see what the hell is this maximum and this minimum, and then so this minimum and this maximum is kept between the different candles. Okay, so let's take a look. What the hell is the maximum? So maximum, where the hell this is used? Where the hell is this defined? It's defined here. Okay, so the maximum is if you are if a gap is found, the maximum is the lowest from 2 candles ago if you are short position. So if you are here, 1 second. Okay, so I am back. Let's see. Okay, the price is going down once again, I guess. This. Let's see what the hell do we do here. Okay, so now we are going to work on this, and I think I have the answer. So the maximum is the maximum place, the maximum of the what's the name here? So the maximum is this maximum here. The minimum is here. So that's it. So the way if the condition happens, then this is from 2 candles ago and from the same candle where you are. This is the minimum. So this is the minimum, and this is the maximum, which is the lowest from 2 candles ago. That's right, lowest from 2 candles ago. So low from 2 candles ago and high from the current candle. This is the maximum, this is the minimum, and this is saved. Then later on, what the hell? It compares maximum and minimum from the previous candle to check if there is a difference. And this is bullshit. I don't think this makes sense. Let me take a look here. Yeah, so if you have a bearish and bullish gap in the same candle, you use one or the other with only one function. But you know, maybe it doesn't make sense to have a bullish and a bearish gap in the same candle. I don't think it's possible. So let's see. If the maximum from the latest candle is different from the minimum from the latest candle. Okay, this was an indicator. Maybe they needed to use the latest candle from ago to get to know if, you know, they needed to use the right value from go. I'm not sure if this is something that I have thought about this using old data. This might be something that you use in indicator because yeah, although damn it, I need to understand this. Maximum. Why would you do this comparison? That's why that's what I do not understand. Why would you do this comparison, checking the maximum and the minimum from previous candle? What the hell do you want to accomplish with this? Maximum from previous candle. So maximum from previous candle is saved here. So maybe we should take a look at this the other way around, and what you want to do here is what happens when the maximum and minimum is the same thing. So apparently when maximum and minimum is the same thing, this is filled. Wait. This is filled. Wait a moment. So we are in this candle. We detect a gap. Okay. So condition, FVG condition is true. And apparently recently filled number is 1. Is it because recently this is bear? So this is because on the latest candle where there was no gap, both of the maximum gap and minimum gap were the same thing. So it means that this is filled, but this does not make sense. So if you don't have enough bearish gaps to fill around here, then you have this stuff that doesn't work as expected. I mean, I don't understand this code because it doesn't make sense. Because so you save these values, but you are only going to save these values if the FVG condition is true. So what you are doing is so FVG condition needs to be saved. So it's like you want to use FVG condition. No, this does not make sense. I mean, there's some error in the logic here, because yeah, this is not right. So yeah, so when you find a gap, you want to save their maximum and minimum values so that you can do something with them later. Okay, but then the problem is that in the next candle this bullish FVG condition stuff is not true, because you no longer have this you no longer have this what's the name? You no longer have this bullish gap condition anymore, because it's another stuff. It's another stuff. So the first loop we save this with maximum and minimum, but in the next loop when you go here, you've got the maximum minimum from another gap. It doesn't have anything to do with your latest gap. That's why what I don't like from this. So it's like okay, let's see what happens down here. There's something. So the maximum when you are in a bearish, okay, so when you are in a bearish gap, you do not modify maximum. So maximum, it's always the maximum one, which is the lowest two from the latest gap, and the minimum one, it's the minimum between the current high value and the minimum, and also the maximum. Okay, here there is where you change the minimum to something else, and this is happening always. So this is happening always. Okay, this makes a bit more sense here, but let me see. So this is the function, and so the maximum and the minimum based this. Then even if the FVG condition is not true, yeah, even if this condition is not true, you modify the maximum and the minimum. So that's why this was not working as expected. Okay, so let me take a look at here. Yeah, I mean, this is way this is the mean. Yeah, look at that. Its field condition is maximum equals minimum, and then maximum is different than the minimum. That's not the same thing as you have here, which is if this is different something. That's why this is messed up, I think. So fill this one, and the maximum is different than the minimum. So why aren't you using the same stuff up here? Okay, let me see. Just going down a bit more. So that's the reason why I think the problem is we have this maximum and these minimums, which are modified. I mean, maybe when you use both bear and bull gaps, it does a break, but right now I don't think this is well thought out, because so what you have here, this minimum and this maximum is being modified here. This minimum is being modified here. So how the hell do you know if this is unfilled? Because the minimum and the maximum is different. Wait a minute. Don't we have to do this later than these values here? think the problem is that this needs to be calculated before and after this. And the minimum, I'm not sure that the minimum should be kept between the trades, but I guess it has to. And this is returned apparently. So why do you return the minimum and the maximum? That's a good question. So this is returned, so we should have here this minimum is returned, and we do not use it. Yeah, we use it to plot where the minimum of the gap it is and where the maximum of the plot it is on each one of the candles. So that's the reason why you can see these nice gaps, because the minimum and the maximum of the candle is being updated on each one of the candles. So if this is high, it's updated, so this is high, and then that's it. Here you have the same thing. This is a high one. Let me show you another one. You have this, because this is the maximum that we modify. Okay, this is the maximum that we modify, so this makes sense. So you want this minimum and this maximum to know how big your gap it is. However, you want to reset this each time a new gap is found. Otherwise, this does not make sense to me. And you also want to FVG condition. Wait a minute. FVG condition, is this a bar variable? No, it's not. Or is it? Wait a minute. Is this do we update bare FVG minimum? No, we don't. This is not used else. I mean, it's not saved elsewhere. So let me see. Okay, so so my question is, was if this a number about if this minimum was being kept between the this minimum is kept, but it's not kept from the outside. and this needs to be reset on each one of the trades, each one of the times that you find new a new gap. You don't want to compare this to know if this is filled or not, otherwise this does not make sense. If this is unfilled, store the line in array. For these two values to be equal, you need to update the minimum and the maximum. So the minimum needs to match the minimum. Yeah, which is the one minimum? Yeah, you compare the maximum to the minimum. That way you know if this has been fulfilled or not. But this needs to be reset each time there is an FVG condition. Otherwise, this does not make sense to me. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm going to mess up something else, but that's the way I see it. Each time a new condition is found, this needs to be reset, otherwise. And if you reset this to 0 and 0, this is not right. So each time there's an FVG condition, these two values need to be reset to something that it's not true by default. But what you want here is yeah, I mean, you want to reset this. But how the hell do you manage to I'm not sure this is working as expected, because this field number, I mean, this doesn't make sense to me. It seems like once it seems that once a gap is filled, then this equals these two values are equal. And so you add the line here, then you don't care about it anymore, unless you go back here and you check if this is filled or not. Yeah, I mean, this needs to be debugged, and this field number needs to be debugged. I mean, having a different number for the ones that are found in historical FVGs, and that way you can check how this is not. You never go into here because the maximum and the minimum is never different, and so. Yeah, is unfilled. Minimum, maximum are different. So the first time a gap condition happens, Wait a minute. I see what's the problem here. So when a gap is found, you can either the oldest gap can be filled, and that means that the fill number increases. Why it's filled? Because maximum and minimum have the same value. Or the gap, the oldest gap, might not have been filled. In that case, the maximum and the minimum are different, and you want whatever you had currently to add to the FVG lines. It's that the logic behind this. Let's see if I have here. Let's copy this here. Okay, price might get there or not. Value here. Okay, so this needs to be fixed so that we enter here, not here. The first time a gap is found is never going to be filled, or you are not going to feel I mean, if you feel an old gap, I don't care. So can you feel a bear gap? So let me ask you a question. 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 Can a bull gap be filled while a bear gap is being detected formed? That's the question. Can a bull gap be filled while a bear gap is being detected or formed? Yes, it can, but I use the other function to take care of it, and the same thing happens here. So can a bear gap be filled while a bear gap is being detected? Yes, but I don't care. Other function, care. And can a bear gap be filled while a bear gap is being detected? Don't think so. So in that case, what you want to do is to remove the condition from down here, which is this one here, and that's it. Let me see. Okay, so we have this new version. Okay, so now what you want to do is just remove this one, which is, there's no need to have this one here. Same thing happens here. We only want to deal when this is pushed into these historical lines, and if this does not work, then there's something wrong. There's something else to be fixed. Okay, so Pine Editor, save this, and yeah, I mean, I guess that I can add this to the this is doing stuff. Okay, we are done. Now there are not so many trades, not sure why. And let's take a look at the line size and so on. So the bear, praise 2 and bear post. Line size here is not changed at all, even if there is a gap. As we expected, there's something wrong here. This is not added here. Okay, the other thing that you want to check is recently filled total. So this bear is 22. Now I move and it doesn't move. Why? Because it doesn't go to the, it is not pushed to the bear stuff. So this makes sense because someone complained about bear gaps not being filled properly and so on. Let's take a look at the trades to see if these trades are always long or short, because yeah, this is a short one. Okay, now take a look at this. This makes sense. So this is wait a moment. The short gap is filled, then we short. However, this should be this is more than 5 candles ago. Okay, so maybe the one that you feel is this one here. This is smallest one here. So if you zoom here, there's a small gap. So once you feel this small gap to the downside, then you short. So this is what we have managed to program. That's what we want here to happen. And I guess that there is no way of, so this short is being lost here and then something else happened. So maybe risk management has told us not to push any more trades because we have lost a lot of stuff. Not sure about this. So let me modify 1 second risk management settings so that you don't care too much about this. Risk management, none of them. So now there should be maybe more trades I am not sure about this. Okay, we still have 30 trades. So yeah, so we have done something, because the way I see this, once you detect the bear condition and once you detect a bull condition, it doesn't mean that a gap is being filled, because you are going to find this thanks to this value here with the FVG lines value. So let me check whatever. Let me check more stuff around here and think. So why are there so few trades? That's the question that I want to check. So let's push another version, otherwise this is not going to be proper. So I want this and that's it. Now I can say something like we only use only something, sorry, and now we can bump the version, maybe, not sure on this. Okay, so now yeah, we want to know why there are so many few trades. So we will do this tomorrow. This video is quite long so far. So this is A4 and A4, okay. So now we should be able to add this. So this one and this one. So we say something like bump version to 4 and hit tag. Yeah, this one. This is 4 version. So hit push origin, 4 version here. Hit push origin main. And now we can, what's the thing? We can copy and paste this URL so that anyone can use the script. So once you are here, okay, so let's edit the video and let's add this link here. Okay, here we are. So thank you very much for watching this video. Next day we will continue to debug what the hell happens here. Okay, I mean, is it a problem? Is it a problem about not accounting gaps being filled by using the main loop instead of the FVG lines loop? Being recently. Maybe we want to Maybe we want to check if they are recent or not. Maybe we want to check if they are recent or not in the... So here we had this number that was increased. And somehow we didn't know what was the last time that these two values were different or the same thing. Well, I don't know. The thing is that this is not working as expected, and I want to check why the hell. Is it a problem about this? Is it why FVG lines for bull and bear are not being updated when they should? Okay. When okay, well, should we have a minimum and a maximum? Minimum and a maximum different FVG minimum and FVG maximum variables for the gap itself and its plot, or it doesn't matter at all because we actually want to check FVG lines. So these are all the thoughts that I have right now, and next time we will take a look at all of this. So thank you very much for watching this video.